But before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Thank you. So the Tesla team did an incredible job in 2023. We achieved record production and deliveries of over 1.8 million vehicles, in line with our official guidance. And in Q4, we were producing vehicles at an annualized run rate of almost 2 million cars a year. Looking at just the Fremont factory alone, we made 560,000 cars. This is a record. In fact, it's the highest output automotive plant in North America. The energy storage business delivered nearly 15 gigawatt hours of batteries in 2023 compared to 6.5 gigawatt hours the year before. I said for many years that the storage business would grow much faster than the car business, and it is doing that. For full self-driving, we've released version 12, which is a complete architectural rewrite compared to prior versions. This is end-to-end artificial intelligence. We replaced 330,000 lines of C++ code with neural nets. Perhaps the most important competitive characteristic of Tesla in the future will be manufacturing technology. And you will really see that come to bear with our next-gen vehicle. The first manufacturing location for this will be at our Gigafactory and headquarters in Austin, Texas. And then we'll follow that up with other locations around the world. Probably the factory we'll build in Mexico will be second, and then we'll be looking to identify a third location, perhaps by the end of this year or early next, outside of North America.
In our vehicle business, we continue to see improvements in our per unit cost, despite us being in the early phase of Cybertruck ramp. As a result, our auto gross margin improved sequentially. That said, predicting auto gross margins is extremely challenging since there are many moving parts to this equation, some of which are out of our control, like the change in tariffs or local incentives, to name a few. While the teams are focused on cost reductions, we are approaching the limits within our current platforms. We fully appreciate the importance of customer education as we are still in a customer acquisition phase. Our data suggests that around 90% of our vehicle buyers in 2023 never owned a Tesla before.
I don't want to blow your minds, but I'm often optimistic regarding time. But our current schedule says that we will start production towards the end of 2025.
Yeah, first, I just want to allay any concerns regarding 4680 limiting the Cybertruck ramp, because I've seen some people commenting about that. To date, 4680 production is ahead of the ramp with actually weeks of finished cell inventory. And the goal is to keep it that way, not only for Cyber, but for our future vehicle programs. And as Elon said, it is an S-curve here too. Like it's hard to predict these things, but I'm just describing our goals.
But we also do want to emphasize that we also expect to ramp orders from our suppliers.
Yep.
So this is not about replacing our suppliers, it's about supplementing our suppliers.
Should retail shareholders be concerned that Elon has stated that he's uncomfortable expanding AI and robotics at Tesla if he doesn't have 25% of voting?
Yeah, I guess let me explain what my concern is here, which is that I see a path to creating an artificial intelligence and robotics juggernaut, and my concern would be that I could sort of be voted out by some sort of random shareholder advisory firm. So I want to have enough to be influential. Like if we could do a dual class stock, that would be ideal. I'm not looking for additional economics. I just want to be an effective steward of very powerful technology.
As we have said in our prior guidance, there will be periods where we won't be growing at the same rate as before. We are between two major growth waves. In 2024, our volume growth will be lower, as we have said, because we're trying to focus the team on the launch of the next generation vehicle.
We have recently broken ground for the next phase of Giga Nevada expansion to incorporate semi and other projects.
I really think lots of car companies should be asking for FSD licenses, but and we've had some tentative conversations, but I think they don't believe it's real quite yet.
We are constantly looking for what we can do to reduce costs. Do I believe that we will have the same pace which you've seen over the past few years? Probably not, because remember, we were coming out with a period wherein commodity prices were rising. So then we did see benefits coming from that. But yes, I would want to caution that do not project the previous cost reduction at the same pace completely in the future, because with our current platform, we are getting to a place wherein, there are limitations.
And we're pursuing the dual path of NVIDIA and Dojo. It's got potential, I can't emphasize enough, high risk, high payoff. I mean, there's a potentially interesting play where when cars are not in use in the future, that the in-car computer can do generalized AI tasks. If you've got tens of millions of vehicles out there, even in a robotaxi scenario where they're in heavy use, maybe they're used 50 out of 168 hours. It's possible with the right architectural decisions that Tesla may in the future have more compute than everyone else combined.